Beware of spoilers, you have been warned.
Sweeney Todd. I don't think I can perfectly quantify the love I have for this film. The musical itself is just insane on its own. Tim Burton brought in Johnny Depp, Alan Rickman, Jamie Campbell Bower, Timothy Spall, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Helena Bonham Carter, and made the greatest adaptation to a musical ever. This is a must-see, incredible and insane experience. Thank you, Sondheim. Thank you, Burton. God's bless Johnny Depp.
There was a barber and his wife, and she was beautiful.
I'm also so hyped and happy to watch this movie, and I get so, too excited about the cast and the songs every time. I totally forget how truly depressing and effed up the story actually is. This man with power ruins a family for no reason other than his own lust. He imprisons a man because he can, drives his crush to madness, then kidnaps their daughter. Sweeney returns home full of rage, and rightfully so. Can we talk about the cast? Grindelwald, young Grindelwald, Bellatrix, Snape, and Peter Pettigrew walk into a barbershop. That's it. That's the movie. This and Les Miserables are literally the best casts of a musical adaptation I've ever seen in my life. I am memorized by their performances every time. This movie was made at the right moment in history with the right people. Absolutely phenomenal. I love Mrs. Lovett. I feel you, bro. Particularly in this version, I would also be groveling over Sweeney Todd portrayed by Johnny Depp. Have you also seen clips of Aaron Tveit as Sweeney? Sutton Foster does not hold back. It's definitely a toxic trait of mine that I would totally be willing to be in Lovett's place, though she is so hooked on a love story or building a family, while Sweeney is just not. I'm sure there's a lesson on revenge and how clinging to the past takes away from the now, but killing people and making them into pies just seems like the better alternative, you know?
It's Todd now. Sweeney Todd. And he will have his revenge.
If I'm not hyped by this point of the movie, These Are My Friends is that song that gets me in. I'm remembering this was a favorite for me and my high school BFF to sing during our daily morning hangouts before classes started. I'm full Team Sweeney, and Johnny's performance of this song is specifically fantastic. The way he delivers that final line, let's effing go.
At last, my arm is complete again.
Oh boy, the irony of Anthony falling in love with Joanna. Literally, of all the girls in London, it had to be her. Also, is it just me, or does Joanna's actress low-key look like Lily Rose Depp? Was this, accidental perfect visual casting, or... Meeting Joanna also means getting the proper introduction to Judge Turpin, played by the legendary Alan Rickman. He's menacing, conniving, and lustful. Perfect villain portrayed by a perfect actor.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Pirelli was brought in to instigate Sweeney's murderous spree. He shows up trying to blackmail him about his past, and Sweeney was going to have none of that. He didn't want any risks going into his grand revenge plot against the judge. It was a gruesome death, to be sure. Sasha was so great at capturing the extravagant nonsense that is Pirelli, and it's always hilarious to me that him and Helena would reunite in another musical literally a few years later as the Innkeepers in Les Miserables. This scene is everything I could have ever wanted. Johnny Depp and Alan Rickman, they gave a masterclass performance. Their duet was magical. They were a formidable on-screen duo that I never knew I needed. They played well off each other, and Johnny's portrayal of Sweeney slowly building up his revenge brought intensity to such an upbeat song.
And I'm full of joy.
Give this man an Oscar now! Have I already mentioned how brilliant Johnny's performance is? Honestly, it's so hard to not side with Sweeney. F the concept of class structure. Humanity deserves all of its suffering. We suck as a species. And even the best people in the world have some sort of darkness. No single person is innocent. But also the hype built from this moment. I know revenge always comes at a cost, but I'm so ready to see Sweeney pay it as he decides to become a serial killer just to practice murdering one guy. My body is ready.
No wheels of anyone, meaning anyone and to anyone.
This scene is everything I could have ever wanted. Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter singing a song full of cannibal puns. How could I not be in love with this scene? I also love the Broadway version as it is a few extra minutes longer with even more cannibal puns. Sondheim, what were you smoking when you wrote these lyrics? I'd like some of it, please. Here is a reminder that Sweeney Todd is not just a fun tale of serial killers and cannibalism. Sweeney sings to his daughter as he continues his killing spree. He is essentially saying goodbye to her as he sacrifices his own humanity to get the job done. He is already accepting that even when he gets his revenge, it won't mean happiness for Sweeney and his family. This scene is everything I could have ever wanted. Helena Bonham Carter singing a happy song about a happy life next to an emo, depressed Johnny Depp who just looks dead inside every shot. Like, how could I not love this scene? Sweeney is such a mood. Sweeney Todd looking emo AF on the beach is my spirit animal. It's honestly bittersweet in a way as well. Love it. You're cooking people into meat pies. Do you really think you'll get a happy ending, the one that you think you deserve? The climax is here and is ready to make you feel so depressed. While it is epic and satisfying to witness Sweeney get his revenge, he paid the price to accomplish his goal. He killed his wife, who turned out to be the beggar woman the whole time. Crazy plot twist if it's your first time watching. He murders Lovett because she never told him the full truth, and Toby kills Sweeney, a once again lonely orphan in this cruel city known as London. It's beautiful and dark. The lighting and music add to the melancholy. The credits roll, and I always end the film with the same sense of awe as I did the first time I saw it. This is a masterpiece of a film and a terrific adaptation of the original musical, one of my favorite movies of all time. Steven Universe. This review will be split into two parts, starting with Season 1. While Season 1 is a long list of Steven's shenanigans as he comedically struggles to grow into his powers, there's still a foundation of love and purpose under all of the innocent adventures. One thing is for certain for the whole season is that Rose's absence is felt literally all the time. The impact Rose made and the impact the birth of Steven made has series-wide consequences that extends past Steven growing up without a mom. I've heard Steven Universe to be compared to Last Airbender, and I definitely see some of those similarities in the sense that both Aang and Steven were just little goofball kids, and as time goes on, their power grows as conflicts intensify and leads to some awesome moments. Season 1 only gave us a glimpse of gem lore, and I was craving answers all through this season. What was Amethyst? What was Steven? What was Lion? We only scratched the surface in this first season, but I just knew there was a whole established universe, literally, just waiting to be explored. Like, all these gems they collect, will Steven heal them and turn them back into humanoids with his healing saliva somehow? Season finale was GOAT. Like, I'm awake. Ruby and Sapphire? Ruby and Sapphire? Now this is as close to lesbian as kids shows are allowed. Gems seem to only be women, with some gems maybe being a bit non-binary, but gems are aliens and they don't reproduce like humans. They're literally grown or whatever, like plants. So with this gray area, romances between gems can be explored and pass as PG lesbian power couples, which Garnet totally is. While Lapis's sacrifice was a very emotional and powerful scene, the bombshell that Garnet was a permafusion of true lesbian love is the very definition of the ship has sailed, and I was left shook for a very long time. Season 2. This season, I was really wondering, what is Homeworld like? What other ethnicities exist in this gem race? What are all of their abilities and given purposes? The Garnet origin story, let's go! This episode was very, very welcome given my questions, but also because love wins. We were exposed to gem racism, the concept of fusions, of alike gems versus different gems, and how mixed fusions are actually frowned upon in polite society. This origin story just made me want to learn more about Rose. Like, I need the full story on how Rose led a resistance and all who was left behind on Earth. Season 3. I got up from my chair when Steven tried to heal Senti. Like, I've been waiting for more exploration on Steven's healing spit and the corrupt gems that have been collected and secured in bubbles. They're really trying to throw some character progression with Connie this season, and I really appreciate that. She started to learn how to fight, bringing some human strength to the team, which is exactly what Rose kind of stood for. Rose stood up against gems for the human race, so it's great that a lowly human is given all her strength and intelligence to the table when backing up these powerful gems. That human willpower, along with the super cool gem powers, is why Steven is so special as this unique hybrid, and there's so much potential from both sides of him. Also, Sweeney? That was indeed an experience. This is literally like Dan and Phil creating a sim in their image. This is so silly, but also, like, pretty dope. While Rose inspired gems to be more than what they were designed for, Steven carried on the legacy by recognizing the goodness in everyone and everything. Everything deserves a second chance. Every enemy has a voice, and Steven would rather talk instead of fight. Rose saw the potential in what they could be. Steven saw the potential in what they are. It's a great way to both continue Rose's legacy through Steven while also making Steven his own with individual strengths and a different idea for change. My jaw dropped when Smoky Quartz entered the chat. We know Steven confused with Connie, so it only makes sense that he confused with the other gems. I was waiting for the day for a whole family fusion to go Super Saiyan. Season 4, Pearl has a rebellious episode, and it made me realize she is that bitch, bro. Criminal with class. She's literally my favorite character, and I love her so much. Can we please acknowledge Broadway legend Patti LuPone as the amazing voice actress for Yellow Diamond? Also, the diamonds? They're kind of given Firelord Ozai, like in the sense that Ozai was just a voice in the shadow, and we didn't get a face reveal until season 3, and only really saw his full potential as a killer in the series finale when he was about to burn half of the world to ash. So yeah. The concept of the gems is very intimidating, but I'm really excited to see more of them. Rose says in that video, I'm half of you. Like, in terms of gem magic, is that like literal and figurative? Because Homeworld gems seem to think so. Is he like the Avatar but for Rose? Like, what is the science of this? Steven is literally the only one of his kind, so they don't really have anyone to compare to. Overall, yeah, I'm a fan. I'll be finishing my review next time. Steven Universe is a Cartoon Network classic that you need to check out. The aesthetic, the lore, the character designs, the music, the very heart of the show with the themes of family, loss, and self-discovery. Fall into the hype. Steven Universe is indeed a special animated experience. Alright, star of the week. Tom Momsgans and Siobhan Roy. buckle up. I literally wrote over 8,000 words as to why they stay together happy ever after post-series finale. I'll be trying to sum it up here, but if you want the full breakdown, shameless plug, Hollis Film Blog, thanks, link in description. Before season 1, fathoms beneath her, he was in many ways, and that's what Shiv liked. It gave her control. She liked the idea of having a man grovel at her feet, and he liked groveling. In a weird way, they were already quite a match. I'm sure between all the lines, there must have been some sort of love, or at least a level of affinity from both ends. Tom came to her at a difficult time and presented himself as a gentleman, wrote handwritten letters, and was there for support. Shiv was also kind of outside of the family at this time, and given her behavior in the first episodes, she was at least friendly to Tom, and at least liked him and appreciated him to some extent. Season 1, one thing so apparent about Shiv so early on is that she never allows herself to feel or show her true emotions. Sarah Snook still manages to express Shiv's emotions in subtle ways. She doesn't allow herself to emotionally commit to anyone because she's trying to avoid pain. This leaks into her commitment to Tom specifically. Tom is also a freaking leech, servile right to the end, loyal to the side that will support his ambitions, also a bit of an a-hole like everyone else. It's just so important to understand these characters individually because their own individual character analysis are the foundation to all my arguments as to why these two specifically stay together. The first moment when I saw Shiv look disappointed or sus is after Tom's mom looked at the prenup. You can tell that Shiv thought his parents to be avaricious. Tom acted like he didn't care, but Shiv was still bothered by the idea that Tom and his parents were just after her money. She just seemed repulsed by him all the way up until their wedding.
I tried playing with you, you broke.
Words spoken to Nate by Shiv. Oh my god. This is one of the most revealing lines to Shiv's character, so remember that. Getting to the wedding episode after a whole season of bad omens.
And Tom, I would like to also thank for being my rock, and I like hanging out with you.
I actually believed Shiv when she said that in her speech, like straight up, is the most honest thing about the relationship. It's such a small comment that goes a long way. Then the confession. I believed her again, like she was actually being honest here. She said she was messed up and needed him at the start. As I've said, commitment might just bring pain. So she's proposing the polyamorous idea to avoid the pain, but also to make her previous actions acceptable. She speaks so plainly here, like this isn't even analysis. Tom just goes with it because he loves her. It's not entirely about money anymore for him, and he's probably thinking it's just a phase that he could wait out. That being said, Tom and Shiv were on the road to a nice clean divorce, and then Logan messes it all up. Shiv already mentioned before that she was willing to go through with the marriage because of the deal, and the deal was Tom. Tom is CEO while Shiv runs around freely with her money and political career, and it's a win-win for her all around. She walked in and said to Logan's face, "I don't want anything to do with you and your stupid company." But all Daddy had to do was offer her in. Accepting CEO meant earning his approval, and that's all her and her brothers, that's all they ever wanted. All it took was 60 seconds, and Shiv left that room a different person than when she walked in. Tom later says, "I'd always get stuck between you and your dad." That starts here. If I could pick the exact moment that screamed divorce, it's when Shiv agreed that Tom should be the sacrifice, and the way he looked at her and responded, "What?" That. Matthew's line delivery was heartbreaking. Tom spent 2 episodes feeling a target on his back with no support from the family, and Shiv just didn't fight enough. Cutting to the end, Tom on the beach is probably the most honest he's ever been to Shiv, pretty much in this series so far. He's open and honest about his feelings. He condemns her for her stupid open relationship idea that she brought up on their wedding night. He says he's unhappy, and Shiv is, of course, very hard to read. Shiv is definitely a if you can't handle me then leave kind of person. Tom is not going anywhere. I tried playing with you and you broke. That will always be the difference between Tom and people like Nate. Season 3, Tom was still bitter from the death cruise and didn't have the patience to deal with Shiv's BS anymore. The way she said I love you and he responded with thank you in the first couple of episodes, LMAO. Even in the midst of the family civil war, Tom believed Greg because Shiv is starting to look like an untrustworthy liar. Thus, the subtextual love triangle intensifies. Tom officially makes the offer to willingly sacrifice, and Logan appreciates it. This was a major turning point for many reasons. Again, Shiv occasionally looks like she genuinely feels for Tom, courtesy of Sarah Snook. But in these moments, Tom looks like he doesn't feel a lot of support or reassurance from her, courtesy of Matthew McFadden. Tom has been given so much evidence that she's not one to be trusted, and Shiv has become more and more focused on her father and her position in the company to even try to be an emotionally available wife. Here's the thing about Shiv you really start to see clearly this season. Only daughter, a well-known fish in a men-dominated industry pond. Tom is her rock. He's the #1 fan. Her most consistent support. When the rest of the world is against her, Tom is meant to be the one person who is with her. She craves validation. She wants it from the world, especially wants it from her father. But when there's no one else, there's at least Tom, right? Because Tom is who he is. She never expected him to falter. So when he is pushed over the edge and begins to get loose of her grip, that's when she starts to get upset and tries to bully him back in line, which only makes it worse. There have been multiple instances in the last couple of seasons when Shiv talked about her position as CEO. Tom always asked, "Where would I fit in?" And Shiv always gave the wishy-washy answer, "Oh, we'll figure it out." He asked again when the siblings ganged up against their father. Same answer. Putting that together with the prison situation and the whole pillow talk disaster from the night before, he knew that this was too big of a situation and that Shiv would not have his back once things blow up. In this moment, his ambition was stronger than his loyalty that was already fading all through season 3. So while it was the first time Roman acted against his father in this finale, it was also the first time Tom really acted against his wife. Season 4. So, the start of the season, they're on their way to divorce. Tom just feels like it's coming, but Shiv, she's trying to be nonchalant about everything, but she wants to get back with Tom. Knowing she's pregnant before that's revealed makes her early season moments hit a little different. Season Snook is also so good at showing the feelings Shiv hides behind words. So because she's trying to aggressively beat her father in his own game, she's not allowing herself to make an effort to being a normal person and a loving wife who wants to repair her marriage. There's a lot to break down about Tom and Shiv following Logan's death. Basically, Tom just always knows how to be there for her. He knows Shiv better than Shiv knows herself, so there are several scenes where he just knows what to say and do. Major scene for me is the scheduling your grief scene. That's all their analysis right there. Going back to Tom being her rock, she needs that more than ever right now. She's going about this Mattson business with the whole world against her, even her brothers. She's truly alone this season, and that's pushing her to truly appreciate what she basically lost with Tom. And honestly, season 4 has some of the best Tom and Shiv content in the series. The on-screen chemistry with Sarah and Matthew has never been so on fire. It literally took 3.5 seasons for their chemistry to shine like this, and that indicates such a huge shift for Tom and Shiv. Shiv is wanting back in. Tom is still clearly hurt, but also still cares about Shiv and is trying to help as she's dealing with her grief. Doesn't help that Shiv's instinctive response to any vulnerable moment or emotion is to play it off with sarcasm and pain. "I'll always be caught between you and your dad." Tom admits he betrayed Shiv for the money, but then called her out as she would have done the same. "You kept me out." So he made that choice. But bro, even Tom is like, you're as bad as me. The character himself just straight up said they were the same. They are both horrible. They were made for each other. I also have to wonder if Shiv appreciates the honesty. She's so used to dealing with her two-faced brothers, never giving her the whole truth, and all these people saying things towards a means. Tom has really surpassed having to do this and is not afraid to be honest anymore. Shiv even says later she's afraid of what a person thinks. Tom has been saying what he thinks. There's no fear with him anymore. Tom was always her rock. He may be so again for new reasons.
I wonder if we shouldn't clear the air.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
The balcony scene. Have you seen this a million times like I have? So basically, Tom is a servile masochist and Shiv is a selfish narcissist. LMAO. I go into detail line for line in my 8,000 plus word thesis, but basically, they each had valid points, but Shiv's words came across as petty insults while Tom's words were a grenade made of 4 seasons of pent-up energy and pain, adding so much more weight to his arguments. Masterclass acting, masterclass writing, a brilliant scene, and such a pivotal moment for these characters.
It's not my fault that you didn't get his approval. I have given you endless approval, and it doesn't fill you up because you're broken.
That is indeed an argument winner. End of conversation, no notes. Shiv has been taught that being a woman was a disadvantage. So being a pregnant woman or being a mom, way more of a disadvantage in this environment. That's probably why she tried to hide her pregnancy for so long, or at least a reason that she did. But why didn't she abort? She would have been able to, no problem. This is why I think she genuinely wants to be a mom. She knows Tom wants to be a dad also, and I don't doubt she thought of him. All her life, she's been fighting for her father's approval and has been living with such distrust and coldness for the people around her. Having a baby to heal your trauma is not exactly unheard of. Not the best solution, but it happens. This will be a child that loves her unconditionally, something she's never really had before. And here's Tom, not seeing the disadvantage at all, just happy about becoming a dad. This is also why I never once believed Shiv would go through with a divorce. She only threw that word around out of retaliation and perhaps as a way to emotionally control Tom, but he was about to go with it because he was just tired of fighting. I think it's so important to note that she asked Tom for a real relationship when he did. It was when she thought she was a shoo-in for CEO. It was before Tom was revealed to be CEO instead. She thought she had already won. She technically doesn't need him. It's not just convenient scheduling, it's also mutual goals that align, as they did from the very beginning. But also, Shiv has realized that she might actually love her own husband, whatever that means to a person who has never been taught how to love. Now, the vote. Let's be clear, Shiv did not vote for Tom. She voted against Kendall, so there's really no analysis to be done outside of the siblings. It just so happens that going against her brother one last time meant that she would be the first lady and nothing more. I still think she would have voted this way, even if it wasn't Tom. And then, the final scene. I deep dive into the final scene. The script is online, and I broke it down word for word. I think I mentioned it in my review on season 4. I mean, some good stuff here. I mean, you got phrases like not eager but available, an accommodation, equilibrium, something steel here, proxy wars and détente for years to come. Like, that's like that line from Deadpool and Wolverine.
You two gonna fuck or fight?
Both. They're gonna do both. Certain stability for many years to come. I mean, this is their happy ending, guys. There's no way they'll ever divorce. Final applause for Matthew and Sarah as they perfectly translated the entire paragraph on screen. I am left shook every time. Like, this is why they won Emmy Awards. So, really, just overall, they're just not normal. All the Roys are all rich a-holes, narcissistic, sociopaths. Every single character is written to be unlikable. It's so easy to look at Tom and Greg as the best of the worst and gaslight yourself into thinking that they are the good guys. Everyone always forgets what awful people they also are. So it's easy to look at Tom and Shiv and think, oh my god, Tom deserves better. But in reality, Shiv is like 60% of the problem. Tom is also at fault sometimes. I love him too, but he's just as bad as the rest of them. Also, I'm bringing it up again. Read my blog for full details, but for my Last Airbender fans, Siobhan Roy is like Prince Zuko from The Last Airbender. I break it down season by season, but the thing about season 3 Zuko is that we don't see season 3 Zuko with Shiv, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen, okay? Hear me out. Please go check out my blog, please. Many people are also making assessments on Shiv as if they didn't watch season 4. Like, season 4 Shiv is so different than seasons 1 through 3 Shiv. This is the entire basis to my Zuko parallel beliefs as well. I've seen a lot of people believe Shiv will resent her child and not stay married to Tom. Like, she could have gotten an abortion and divorced and moved on, no problem, and Tom would have never known. Shiv needs no man, but she needs Tom, and I think she actually wants to be a mom. Many people believe Shiv is destined to be a horrible mother, but I don't think Shiv wants to continue the cycle and be like her parents, and Tom, who had a much different upbringing, will be right there to not let either of them become her parents. Like, he knows how horrible they are. He doesn't want that. Honestly, Shiv should just become a dance mom. Like, she could be like the new Melissa, and her kids can be the new Maddie and Mackenzie. So while she makes an effort to make her family life a healthy environment, she can use the dance studio as an outlet for control, manipulation, and superiority as her kids become the best dancers in the studio. This is probably the most accurate headcanon I can come up with. With Logan dead and Tom CEO, I feel like Shiv is released from whatever mindset she's been stuck in this entire show. With that release, I can see her opening up and maybe, someday, Shiv is legally allowed to walk up to Tom and say, hey!
I have struggled in vain and I can bear it no longer. I have fought against my better judgment, my family's expectation, the inferiority of your birth, my rank and circumstance, all these things, and I'm willing to put them aside and ask you to end my agony. I love you, most ardently.
I really don't think it's impossible, but she's gonna have to do a lot of work as she's the one that did the most damage. If it works, it's gotta come from her. I think Tom is hurt in their final moments, but there's still something there. I think they may give it a chance if Shiv shows she's willing to give it a chance too. I just honestly can't see them divorcing. Even if love is never acquired, they will stay together for appearances, convenience, and business. There's no way they would immediately become a functional couple soon, if not ever, but they both have too much to give each other for a divorce to be realistic. At the end of the day, if Tom and Shiv really don't work out, in the end of a post-Succession world, there's always Tom and Greg.
God of War. This game came out at a very interesting time. It was 5 years since The Last of Us, first of all. So here's another dad on beast mode, killing people and taking names. Actually, there are a lot of comparisons I can make to both stories. Maybe I'll write a blog about it someday. Anyways, this game also came out the same year as Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, Red Dead Redemption. 2018 was honestly one of the best years in gaming in recent times, but God of War stood out against all the rest with its music, world design, graphics, story, and voice acting. Christopher Judge gives the iconic performance as Kratos. Sonny Solic was an excellent newcomer with a great performance of Boy. We also had Danielle Basutti, Jeremy Davies, Alistair Duncan, Robert Craighead, and Adam J. Harrington as wonderful supporting actors and characters. And throw in Troy Baker and Nolan North as the Sons of Thor. This is a cast of actors, guys. The gameplay truly makes you feel like the God of War. Even at the beginning, when you only have your axe, Kratos doesn't feel weak at all, and that's thanks to the combos and battle animations triggered in encounters. The best moments are definitely the fights with Baldur, especially that beginning battle when we're thrown into this fray in the first 15 minutes. While the graphics and the beautiful designs of the realms really make this game a beauty to behold, it's the music that just wraps everything together and makes the game art. Bear McCreary has ascended. 8 years prior to this, he was dropping the main theme to The Walking Dead, and then here he comes making this masterpiece. The soundtrack is one of the most memorable aspects of this video game, and that's all thanks to Bear. Now, going through English and literature classes over the years, I've had to study several Greek fables, and the story of Kratos is a story that also deserves that same treatment of in-depth analysis. God of War isn't much of a sequel or revamp or remake. It's really a continuation of Kratos, who made a name for himself as the Ghost of Sparta. I feel like this new chapter, this whole new series really, has given us a more intimate look on the character as a whole, in this whole new world with a brand new mythology and pantheon of gods to learn about. We go around as a raging killing machine, which Kratos has always been, but with his son, he's more vulnerable and actually more humanized as well. Kratos and Atreus are the heart and soul of the story. This is a story of loss and love for Kratos, while it's a coming-of-age story for Atreus. And on this journey to deliver Faye's ashes to her final resting place in Jotunheim, this iconic father and son duo must not only learn more about the world and the realms around them, but also about each other and the ultimate father-son bonding trip of life and death. Kratos accidentally killed his wife and daughter in the last series, so it's easy to root for Kratos to protect our son. Kratos has joint custody with every player ever. Atreus is everyone's boy. Talking about the first game just gets me excited for the sequel, which I'm several hours into right now. I just passed the part where they found a certain someone locked up in prison deep in the mines of Svartalheim. I'm already deeply invested in Ragnarok, and I hope when I finish that I'll love this game as much, if not more, than the first one.
That's it for this week. Be sure to follow this podcast and please follow my Twitter and blog at Hollis Films to follow my journey experiencing the entertainment industry's greatest stories. And let me know what you've been fangirling over this week. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you again next week.